hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hey, my brother, hey there, sister, good to see you, dear. Morning, stranger, soon you'll find there are no strangers here. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. Different colors, genders, lovers, young and old, we shine. Greetings, salutations, friend, to your heart from mine. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. Our doors, our arms, our hearts are open wide. Those pesky fears and judgments, well, we've left those all outside. And here there's welcome and love. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. I think you're someone I'd like to know. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. La da dee, la da da, la da dee, la da dee.
Good morning. For those of you that might not know me, my name is George Melton, and I'm your host for today's live streaming Sunday celebration service, coming to you from beautiful Palm Springs, California, on this first Sunday morning of a very new year, 2021. Can you believe it? We've been listening to Hello by Jeff Kingfisher. On behalf of your Leadership Council and our Senior Minister, Reverend Eunice Chalfant, I want to extend a warm welcome and a Happy New Year to all of our regular viewers here in Palm Springs and all of our many friends from around the country. Richard and Bill in Illinois, Ron Simpson in New Mexico, Terry Ann Gallagher in Port Angeles, Washington, Margie Roth and Jonathan Ashwell and Daniel Mediano right here in Palm Springs. Welcome to Palm Springs, Jonathan. No matter where you are on your spiritual path or where you might be tuned in from this morning, you are welcome here. We'd like to begin the service this morning by reciting our mission and vision statement. Please follow along with me if you would. At CSLPS, we envision a world where oneness is cultivated, unity is lived, and reverence for all life is practiced, empowering us to thrive individually and collectively. And of course, we do this through the teachings of science of mind and spirit and the practice of unconditional love. There are a number of things for you to be aware of this week. This coming Wednesday, January 6th at 3:30 in the afternoon, join Reverend Eunice for our monthly visioning session and be a part of helping capture Spirit's highest and best vision for our center and for our individual lives. Among other things, we will be visioning on new ways to expand our community's online connectivity in this time of physical isolation. Visioning is one of the three primary spiritual technologies we use in Science of Mind, along with affirmative prayer and meditation. So come be a part of uncovering the next unfolding step of the evolution of our center in these unique transformational times. Then on Wednesday evening, January 6th at 6:30 p.m., join Reverend Vince Kiefner for Wisdom Share and Sacred Practices as he shows you how to integrate effective goals into your daily living. Find out how Harvard University promoted and taught goal setting to a control group and how this control group outachieved all other graduates. The reason is very simple and very effective. Goals are not solely an outward achievements. Spiritually, goals are moved by intention. As Ernest Holmes has suggested, our inner power grows with our recognition and attention to it. Let's recognize this power in our finances, health, relationship, and businesses for a bountiful 2021. So join Reverend Vince to find out more this Wednesday evening at 6:30 p.m. on Zoom. For those of you who may have missed out on the 28-day facelift experience or would like to participate again, Reverend Eunice will be repeating the class one last time beginning next week. For your convenience, there will be both a morning and evening session. The evening session begins on Tuesday, January 12th at 6:30 p.m., and the morning session will begin the following day, January 13th at 10:30 a.m. You can sign up for the 28-day Faith Lift experience on our website, cslps.org, under classes and events. Then join practitioner Mitch Alcorn for a timely and important new class based on Brene Brown's best-selling book, Braving the Wilderness. This class will challenge everything we think we know about cultivating true belonging in ourselves, our community, our organizations, and our culture. Together, we will discover how to change the internal conversation that keeps us feeling separate and different while mapping a clear path on the journey to true belonging. That journey cuts right through the wilderness. The wilderness turns out to be the place of true belonging, and it's the bravest and most sacred place we will ever stand. The class begins on January 21st, and you can choose between a 6:30 p.m. session or a later one in the evening at 8 p.m. You must buy the book first, Braving the Wilderness, and read the first chapter in advance. We are looking for a few social media savvy people, I know you're out there, to learn and support several different marketing and production skills currently vital to the functioning of our center. If you have these skills and are interested in helping out, please call Margie at the office or leave a message at 760-323-5447. That's out of the way. So in just a few minutes, our practitioner of the day, Reverend Robert Wilson, will be offering today's reading and invocation. Roberta Welsh is holding high watch, assisted by Reverend Rebecca and Stephen Record. Practitioner Mitch Alcorn will be your host in the upper room immediately after today's service for one-on-one prayer for a practitioner. So as we prepare for the rest of the service, take a moment to just make yourself comfortable in the chair you're sitting in or the bed that you're lounging on, and uncross your arms and legs. Close your eyes or soften your gaze, whichever feels more comfortable to you, as we take a breath in together, breathing in the new possibilities of a brand new year, and breathing out the residuals of a year that has passed and gone forever. And as we breathe in the opportunities and the possibilities and the potentials of this new year, we feel the gratitude and the love, and we breathe that out and send it out into the world. And we continue breathing and holding the space while the music takes us just a little deeper.
In once again to this temple we know deep in the body, gentle we go, and softly we hear the call as the silence between us falls, and we open a space and hold it until every heart finds a place, has its fill, and each wounded soul is healed in peace and goodwill as the silence between us falls, and together we hear the call.
Good morning and Happy New Year. Today's reading is taken from the January 2021 Agape Intervisions written by Elisha Mason entitled Hold On. We have come through a most difficult year. What do we leave behind in the final days of 2020? What shall we gather and bring with us into 2021? In his poem, James Baldwin writes, "The moment we cease to hold each other, the moment we break faith with one another, the sea engulfs us and the light goes out." I interpret his words in this way. Holding fast to one another affirms our faith in the essential good in all of us. It honors our belief in the potential in every human being to awaken and grow, and it recognizes the fundamental human desire to love and be loved. Keeping faith with one another, holding on to each other, is a healing elixir of great power. When we love and serve one another, love is magnified. It becomes contagious, an antidote to fear and hopelessness. Even in the midst of things that challenge us, we create beauty. We are connected to our source, and our faith in the unseen good brings down the power of heaven into the affairs of men. New possibilities emerge. In this sacred time, which is, of course, all time, let us hold on to each other. Keep faith with one another. Maintain faith in the infinite, the ever-present good. Let us keep the light shining brightly in the boundless sea of consciousness. Let the glorious light be a beacon for all to follow. So let's take a moment or two just to contemplate those words. So as we bring ourselves back to our mindfulness, our awareness, I know that there is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is whole, perfect, and complete. That life is good, and that life is my life now. So I know that that presence of spirit is right here, right now, that surrounds each and every single one of us. I know that that presence not only surrounds us, but is above us, is below us, and is through us. I know that that presence opens us up to a greater and deeper consciousness and a greater awareness of all the possibilities that exist. I know that it moves through Reverend Eunice as she speaks to us, the voice of God, giving us that which enables us to move into those greater possibilities. I know that it moves through every single one of us listening to this sermon, this beautiful sermon and this beautiful service today. I know that it moves through each and every single person that has anything to do with this service, making it available to all that are listening and all that will listen even after this service is over. I know that that ever-presence of God is a beacon of light for all of us to follow each and every single day, knowing that just to be the truth. I am so grateful. And together we say, and so it is.
Oh yeah. If it could be that we agree to live in harmony and set aside all that divides for the sake of humanity, would you say yes? Yes, yes, yes. If it could be that we agree to meet on common ground, plant a tree and spread the fruit of love all around, would you say yes? Yes, yes, yes. Come on, everybody, sing with me. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. If you believe in you and me, sing yes, yes, yes. If you believe like I believe, we can make a better world. Listen to each other till every voice is heard. Singing yes, 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 yes. But with faith we found a way to end all poverty. So forward, live with dignity from sea to shining. Oh, will you say yes? Come on, everybody, sing with me. Yes, yes, yes. Woo, yes, yes, yes. If you believe in you and me, sing yes, sing yes, yes. Ooh, come on, everybody, sing with me. Yes, yes, yes. Woo, yes, 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 yes. If you believe in you and me, sing yes, sing yes. Woo, yes.
Good morning, beloveds. I'm so grateful to be with you on this brand new first Sunday of 2021. So I just want you to know that I see your light and your strength and your power and your love, and that we are even now co-creating a field of openness and receptivity to the power and the presence of love itself, of a sense of belonging in the heart of God, which is uniquely outpicturing as our beloved CSL Palm Springs community. So it's in that consciousness that I welcome each and every one of you here today to this glorious new year. So Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New 2021. So this is the first Sunday of the new year, and that means it is time to announce our new annual theme for 2021. But before I do that, let me tell you about how it was discerned in consciousness. At CSL Palm Springs, it is our practice to vision everything. And visioning is really different from visualization. Visioning is a group meditative experience where we open up to the infinite field and ask about 5 different questions. And it is always, what is God's highest vision for our beloved community? And what is my unique part in the unfoldment? And those kind of questions. But for this visioning of our annual theme, of course, we start with the vision for the community, and then we ask for the revelation of what our annual theme is to be about. So it differs from visualization. Visualization is using your focused awareness, your concentration to image or imagine something. And by continually imagining that thing, it brings it into your experience. Now, that's a powerful technology as well. However, we can only imagine what we've already experienced. In other words, if you've never tasted chocolate in your life, and I said, visualize the taste of chocolate, you would be unable to do so because you have no experience. Where visioning is accessing a divine download. We catch a vibration, an energy, and sometimes it comes forth as images or sounds or words or concepts or feeling tones. It can come forth uniquely in so many different ways. It also comes forth as a peaceful feeling, as a feeling of being connected at a very deep place with one another and with the divine field, so the divinity of God. And so we use visioning a lot. I've been using it since '86 when Reverend Michael Beckwith visioned the Agape International Spiritual Center, of which I was one of the founding vision members and board members. So it can do wondrous things. And let me put a little side advertisement in here. I'll take off my minister hat and put on my ad hat and say, this Wednesday, don't forget, we're having our monthly visioning. And we always vision for some unique things, as you heard George talk about. But we always include the question, what is God's vision for my life? And we catch on a monthly basis this unfolding vision for us uniquely as individuals. So I would love to have you all join me on Zoom this Wednesday, because this is going to be a very powerful time to be visioning. We do it every month, the first Wednesday of every month at 3:30. And so it's a wonderful practice. But so getting back to my talk, we visioned the annual theme with a group of people. We advertised it, as you'll remember, throughout the month of November and December. And then in December, we opened up to God's highest vision for our annual theme of 2021. And sometimes we each share what we received as everything that came through us. And one at a time, each person will share their vision to each question as it's answered. And sometimes it takes a long time to discern what the commonality is. But this particular year, we did some releasing of 2020 first to create a vacuum. And boy, something powerfully came forth as this collective resounding vision, this resounding yes. And what the vision that was brought forth to us is leaping together into the new fabulous. Leaping together into the new fabulous. And that kind of is a different use of new and fabulous, is it not? And when you think about it, 2020 shook us awake And so our annual theme was the collective awakening. And we awakened in a very violent way, really, to our oneness, our unity with one another. We need each other. So then we ask this year, okay, so what's next? Where do we go from here? And what was revealed is leaping together into the new fabulous. This is a whole new vibration, a whole new energy. It's a pretty bold statement, would you not agree? Oh my goodness. And so the next sharing involved people's questioning the willingness. They go, what if we're not willing to leap together? What if we're not willing to move off of it? What if we're not willing to trust or risk? Or what if we're not willing? And so we had to really look at willingness. And so we contemplated that. And willingness is really a wonderful tool. And sometimes we can't get there. So we can get there by being willing to be willing. Sometimes we have to be willing to be willing to be willing, you know. But we always begin with willingness. And so willingness has that vibration of a possibility in it. It really has a wonderful connotation. And oftentimes I will make a declaration in our talks where I say, well, it's time for us to do this or go forth in this way boldly. And a lot of times I get emails, texts, phone calls from people who say, well, you just don't understand. I don't know if I am willing to grow in that way, or if I'm willing to do this, or if I'm willing to have enough faith, or if I'm willing. There's always some kind of resistance. And so we have to acknowledge that. And the fact is, when we look at 2020, and we look at life building up to that explosion called 2020, we see that it was a real call to awaken to a deeper oneness, a deeper and a more broad experience of possibility. And because it was so intense with the COVID and with the social upheaval and with the economic downturn and with the physical isolation, almost all of us would agree that we desire for a better 2021. Wouldn't you agree? So we have this desire, we have this intention, we have this hope that things will get better. That alone tells me that we therefore are willing. We are willing to move forward. Otherwise, we wouldn't have such a clear desire to move forward. So it is already here. And desire is an interesting thing because desire really includes the two foundational aspects of our teaching, the two principles upon which everything is evolving from our teaching of science of mind. The first thing is that we have been created with the capacity for self-awareness, self-contemplation, for reflection. We can be aware. We're able to be aware. Just the fact that we want something better indicates that we already are aware. This is what is, I want something different. Our awareness of, I like this, I don't like that. I want to do this, I don't want to do that. That's all based in our awareness. And the awareness then allows us to see comparisons and to have the capacity to make choice. So our two foundational principles of awareness and the will to choose, or free choice or free will, is what really is at the core of a desire And desire then is at the core of willingness. And so willingness is what we're about. We're willing to come forth. We are willing to see things differently. So willing and willingness is important. And that brings us to our theme for the month. Our annual theme is leaping together into the new fabulous. And our monthly theme for January is willing, ... Willing, ... And so Webster, let's just define willing. Webster says willingness is the quality or state of being willing. Free choice or consent of the will, freedom from reluctance, readiness of the mind to do and to move forward. That's what willingness means. Readiness of the mind. I would say readiness of the spirit to move forward, to move, to shift. So I have a quote from Hal Tipper. Hal Tipper is a mindfulness teacher, but I love this part. He's also a happiness coach. I didn't know they had such things as happiness coaches. Some of us need to have retain a happiness coach to remind us to be happy. Yeah. Anyway, this is what Hal Tipper says. Letting go is the willingness to change your beliefs in order to bring more peace and joy into your life instead of holding on to beliefs that bring pain and suffering. So willingness is really letting go of old stuckness, of old beliefs. Willing to let it go, to move forward, to release, to create a vacuum for greater good. Ernest Holmes says this: we are always evolving into greater and greater capacities for awareness and for consciousness. And we are hardwired, literally, as a human species, we are hardwired to change, to transform, to grow, to evolve, to become more and more throughout our entire lifetime. Otherwise, we would be all crawling around like a baby. But we are so created to have this capacity to want to grow, unfold, move forward. So willingness is part of that vibration, is part of that unfoldment. Ernie also says this: new arts, new sciences, new philosophies, better government, and a higher civilization with our thoughts and our actions, the infinite energy of life and the possibility of our future evolution work through our imagination and our will. The time is ready. The place is where we are now, and it is done unto us all as we really believe and act. That's powerful. He's saying we are so hardwired to be willing to grow, to expand, to transform, to change. So life is always moving us forward, never backward. And therefore, we have to be willing to surrender to the flow, to be in alignment with the truth of life itself. So are we willing to transform? Are you willing to transform? Are you willing to let go of 2020? Are you willing to grow, deepen, expand in consciousness and in every facet? So this month, we are going to examine transformation in the light. We are going to look at the 4 stages of transformation, or the 4 stages of growth. And for now, let us just focus on understanding the vibration of leaping together into the new fabulous, because sometimes when we look at 2021 through the eyes of 2020, we go, oh my God, what if it gets worse? there's some fear of uncertainty. We don't really know what it's going to entail. We hope everyone's going to take a vaccination and we will be COVID free soon or within a couple of years. But we don't really know what's going to transpire. Heck, we don't even know what's going to transpire on January 6th or the weekend after that or the inauguration. There's just a lot of unknowns. And so if we focus on what our theme is really saying, on the vibration of the theme, then we will have a deeper experience, a deeper connection, and it will allow us to move forth into this uncertain future, 2021, in a more profound way. And so that's what I want to focus on for the remainder of our time today. But before I continue, I just had this awakening last night during my prayer time with my prayer partner, Reverend Joan Stedman from the Agape Bay Area Spiritual Community in Oakland. And she just kind of casually mentioned about the age of Aquarius. And I went, wait, what? She goes, well, it started on December 21st, 2020, the winter solstice, where they had the conjunction of the planets and created the incredible Christmas star. And I hope all of us got to see that. And she said, that was the official starting of the age of Aquarius. And I thought, wait, I always thought we were already in the age of Aquarius, but I was wondering why it wasn't happening. And she said, no, for the last 30 years, it's been the dawning of the age of Aquarius. But now we're stepping into the age of Aquarius. And I just got so excited and I started to just talk about all these past memories. And I remember in 1970, I went to the Aquarius Theater in LA because I'm a California native to see Hair. And if you can go back in time, during that period of time, people were really stuffy. I mean, the moral structure of our society was really tight and people were buttoned up against it. That's where the hippies came out of, like this revolt against, being so controlled by what society says you should do. And there was this real battling. And so Hair was just this wonderful musical that was so off the charts. And they even had a nude scene on stage. And so I remember when I was in the theater, and I think it was in late 69 or early 70, it was right after they opened Hair at the Aquarius. I know it ran from 69 to 71, so it was somewhere in the middle. Anyway, I was watching this performance. In the middle of the performance, for those of you who maybe have also seen it there, all of a sudden you hear these whistles blowing. It was right after the nude scene, if I remember correctly, and policemen all dressed in their uniforms with whistles in their mouth are running down the aisles, blowing their whistles, and lights go on. And I was sitting in a row. I was in corporate America at the time, and I was sitting in a row next to very uptight business exec, and his wife. No kids were around because it was pretty X-rated for those times. And when he saw that happening, he turned white, ashen, and he started climbing over his wife, trying to get to the aisle to get out of there because he didn't want to be arrested. And little did he know it was part of the show. Oh my God, it was so entertaining. And I think, wow, in 30 years, or in 50 years, how far we have come from 1970 to 220. Oh my God, how far we come. We've shifted a lot of our ideas and about everything, and how far technology has come, and every area of our life has really transformed. So this age of Aquarius that is officially begun, I wanted to know, okay, what does that entail? So I was Googling it, and I came across the lyrics of The Age of Aquarius from the song Hair. And listen to these words, they're so prophetic and so they really cast a powerful vision. It says, when the moon is in the seventh house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, then peace will guide the planets and love will still the stars. And then further down it says, harmony and understanding, sympathy and trust abounding, no more falsehoods or derisions, golden living dreams of visions, mystic crystal revelations, and the mind's true liberation. So it's really talking about what we're talking about, is it not? 50 years ago, there was this vision of awakening to a greater possibility for our lives. And so that is what is taking place. So that is the background for this new vision for our annual theme, leaping together into the new fabulous. So leaping together. And I want to just talk in general, that there was an energy of newness, of joy, of moving. A couple of people got babbling brooks in their vision, this bubbling up, this energy. Other people got some of the stars bursting forth in rays. And there was an energy of newness, new words, new ideas, new ways of expressing ourselves and experiencing our powerful teaching. I remember in particular, Reverend Rebecca really caught a strong vision of we can't do anything the way we've done it before. We need to make it fresh, new, use new words, new ideas, but still have the foundation of the ancient wisdom teachings of the science of mind. But how can we bring forth a sense of newness? So there was that powerful vision. And I remember the Bible quote, we cannot put old wine in new wineskins. And so that's what we're talking here. There was also a powerfully creative vision, a part of it. There was a lot of creative energy. There was a profoundly expansive feeling tone. And we've gotten this several times over the last 3 years where somebody will catch the roof of our building being blown off and light emanating forth. And so there was that vision that came up again. And what I love, that there was such a common theme of togetherness, of community, of we are here together, we are doing it together. So this whole idea of leaping also came forth. And I think it came forth for me because I heard leaping so profoundly. Leaping has a connotation of joy and of expectancy and of moving. So when we're leaping, we're expecting joy, we're expecting a movement. It's kind of like the phrase leaping for joy came to mind. And I think of Snoopy when he's just joy-filled, leaping up in his ears go fluttering, so that was the vibration. And the most important thing for me is that we're doing this together. It was very strong. 2020 revealed the power of oneness, and it was created in maybe a painful way, but we got the message. What I do impacts everyone around me. We are one. If any one of us is going to succeed, we all need to succeed. So this really profound sense of moving together, moving forward as one is really, really strong. And when we think of doing things together, it feels expansive in the sense of joy and love and peace and happiness and the all good of God. When two or more are gathered together, the I am that I am is created, is not created, but it is brought into a greater awareness collectively. And then each one of us benefits from that collective awakening and awareness. So I love what our opening reading. Aisha Mason is one of the most profound practitioners I know. She has been at Agape since day one with all of us, and she used to be on the writing team with Robert and I when we created all of our youth camps for 10 years. Jan V, Aisha, Robert, and I would meet together and we write this great workshop material. So anyway, when she writes inner visions, I always want to read her daily guide. And I love that phrase about doing it together. When she says, keeping faith with one another, holding on to each other is healing elixir of great power. So there is great power of healing with each other. So new and fabulous are the last two phrases. And it's interesting that we never think of them as nouns. So I was kind of playing with them as nouns because noun has a different feeling tone than an adjective, which is the usual way we use those two words. So first I thought it was the fabulous new. And so I was looking up new as a noun, and new has that connotation of out with the old, in with the new. It feels solid. It feels transformational. It feels original and refreshing and reinvigorating. It also feels like a new experience, an unaccustomed experience. Let us embrace the new, So when we use it to describe fabulous, we come into a new experience of fabulous that is reinvigorating and original. So I love the pairing up. At first I thought, wow, that's a weird pairing up. But it causes me to think outside of concepts and get into the vibration and allow the vibration to work its magic in me. I have been playing with these two words for for about 6 weeks now, since we visioned them. Maybe it's only been a month. Feels like 3 years. So then there is fabulous as a noun. And fabulous as an adjective means marvelous, wonderful, awesome, incredible. That's what it means. But as a noun, it's interesting because its root is based in a word that means fabricating or legendary or mythical, which really means something imagined or created or invented. So there is an aspect of fabulous that is about being creative, about creating, about bringing something forth out of the no thing into existence. And so when we look at new fabulous, it reeks of a new invigorating possibility, a new experience. We have the capacity to create a new fabulous. That is what God has created us to be. We have so been designed as a human species in God's own image and likeness and out of the very essence of pure spirit. And so we know that the way God creates, out of first contemplating a possibility and then bringing through its mentality into form. When God says, let there be light, that essence of light came forth into the physical expression. That's how we create. We look around the room, everything our eyes fall upon, we have first created it out of an idea. We being the human species first created that. I look at my recliner. That was first an idea of someone who wanted a combination of a bed and chair. Someone could relax and lean back in. So in truth, we have been uniquely and powerfully created to be able to manifest and demonstrate a new fabulous. Life is always evolving into the greater and greater, never withdrawing. So I want to end with a quote by Ernest Holmes again, talking about the evolution of spirit. And this is from the thing called Life, which if you've never read it, pick it up. It's one of those little teeny books by him that is so pure. It's pure gold, pure Ernest, powerful. So Ernest says this: you belong to the universe in which you live. You are one with the creative. There is something in you telling you, like a voice echoing from some mountaintop of inward vision, like a light whose origin no man has ever seen, like an impulse welling up from an invisible source. Evolution is proof of an irresistible urge which pushes everything onward and upward. Man did not create life. He is something that lives in, from, and by it. He cannot escape life or the necessity of giving expression to life through living. So before we close in prayer, I want to invite you to consider joining us for our last 28-day faith lift. If you want support in leaping together into the new fabulous, sign up for the 28-day faith lift that starts in about 2 weeks. It's, boy, there has been phenomenal demonstrations and creative energy that has manifested in just 4 weeks, 28 days. People have connected at a very deep level. Half of the time together is spent in small groups connecting deeply and intimately with one another. And half the time I provide a spiritual practice and tool to transform and to manifest your heart's desire. So go to the website, check it out. We'll be sending out more online messages. If you're not a part of our database, please call Margie at the office and give her the information so she can input you into our database, and then you can have access to everything. So let's just breathe in this new fabulous. Let's breathe in the idea that we are here leaping together into the new fabulous, and we are so willing to do so. We are willing to be transformed by the renewing of our minds and our hearts and our entire beings. Let us pray. So, Father, Mother, God, Infinite Spirit, I'm so grateful and thankful for this brand new beginning, for this clean slate upon which to paint a new portrait of my life. I'm so grateful to have moved through 2020 with all the gifts of awareness and learnings, and to be so anchored into these powerful teachings of the science of mind. I'm grateful for these teachings, for they have empowered me and they have empowered we to grow, to expand, to evolve into our greatest yet to be, our greatest expression of joy, of fulfillment, of happiness. So I bless each one of us here on our journey forward. I bless each one of us as we go into 2021, wide-eyed, expecting the good to manifest, the fabulous to be manifested. I bless in this moment in time all those who are not with us, perhaps having the appearance of COVID this day, all of our brothers and sisters around the world, not just in our country or state, but everywhere, knowing that the end to suffering and pain is at hand, and that we are quickly and powerfully capable of containing this virus and to creating a new life, one that is more unified, equitable, fair for all people everywhere. So we hold this high vision of a world that works for all. We hold the high vision of love and oneness and unity and the all good of God. We hold the vision of reverence for it all, reverence for all of life. For this awareness and the capacity to choose, I'm eternally grateful and thankful. And together we affirm it by saying, and so it is. Amen. Amen, amen. Okay. I wasn't sure if we were on or not, but I am sure of the deep gratitude on behalf of the Leadership Council and our congregation and our ministers and practitioners of deep, deep appreciation for the way we are supporting our beloved CSL Palm Springs. The giving song that was just played is a reminder that it takes all of us to raise a community, to allow it to thrive and prosper, and to meet all the ongoing and increasing financial needs of its community and its membership. So we just appreciate your willingness to be a place of God's givingness in the world. And I like to remind us all that we can never outgive God, for as we give, we open up ourselves to a greater flow of goodness coming forth into us and through us, an ever increasing circulation. So let's just bless the willing heart to give freely and generously this day. Father, Mother, God, Infinite Spirit, we're grateful for the reminder of the givingness of God. And so we intentionally give in this same consciousness and in the same manner. We give freely of our time in service to others. We give freely of our talents in sharing all of our insights and our revelations and our joy with one another. And yes, we are grateful for the gifts that we give in support to this particular spiritual community. For we know that it empowers us to continue to grow, to thrive, and to offer more and more beautiful programs and events. And so we're grateful for all the willingness to give and the giver, more important, the giver than what is given. For this, we simply give thanks, and together we affirm it by saying, and so it is. Amen. All right, have a wonderful, wonderful week this week. just keep opening to the new fabulous and seeing where it leads. And I now turn it over to George to close our service. Thank you, beloveds.
Thank you, Reverend Jarvis. And thank you to all of you who have tuned in this morning to you. We appreciate your support. We invite you to join practitioner Mitch Alcorn for private prayer for healing and revealing your highest good immediately after this service in the upper room on Zoom. You can easily link to any and all of our classes and events on the pop-up page of our website, cslps.org, so check that out. We'd like to end the service today with our closing affirmation. I invite you to read along at home with me. I am at home in the heart of God. My life is anchored in truth. I live in the consciousness of peace. I can never be separate from my source. I am living love. Hallelujah. Amen. So we'd like to end the service today with Jeff Kingfisher singing Peace. From all of us here at the center to all of you at home or wherever you might be, we see you, we honor you, and we wish you a very happy, healthy, and prosperous new year. Namaste.
Peace begins with peace within. Peace without is all about the peace within beginning now and here. Christmas trees and mistletoe are gone, but still the peace we know is flowing to a new and hopeful year. Belly laughs and singing loud, fond embraces, happy crowds. Time with friends is almost here again. In each moment that unfolds, peace awaits to make it gold, a gift that every heart can hold, always given, made for living. Peace begins with peace within. Peace without is all about the peace within beginning now and here. The quiet place inside we know, where you and I can always go, and love can bloom and live and grow. Peace.
A river woven highway, humming right below. Follow
following the fishes on their journey home. Heading north. A grassy dawn rising, reminding me I'm here. I catch my eye and what's behind me in the mirror. Heading north. Oh, mountain of angels, embrace me. Renew me by water, by wind. Baptize me, forgive me, release me from these dark, sweet dreams that might have been. From cold rocky springs you bore me. Alone now to you I return. Broken with loss, filled with prayer. Oh, gather me in your rising from the valley, the evening sun goes down, crossing over bridges and the sleepy towns, heading north.